Hey everyone, how many times have you found yourself thinking about something you want to do, but never actually taking that first step? How often have you stayed up late, mapping out plans, making lists, imagining success, only to wake up the next morning and do absolutely nothing? You dream big, you strategize, but you never move. You wait for the right time that never comes, and you wonder why you're still in the same place. What's stopping you from going after what you want? What's keeping you stuck in that cycle of thinking, planning, and waiting? The answer is simple: fear, uncertainty, doubt. But what I need you to understand is that fear is the enemy of progress. And that doubt, that uncertainty, they're nothing more than illusions created by your own mind to keep you from moving forward. And this is where we get it wrong. This is where we get trapped. You see, we have the tendency to overthink. We sit in our heads for too long, convincing ourselves that we need more information, more time, more resources, or more confidence before we can take the leap. But here's the truth: you will never feel fully ready. You will never have all the answers. The perfect moment will never arrive, and the conditions will never be just right. There is no such thing as the perfect time. And that's why you have to stop thinking, stop waiting for the stars to align, stop wondering if you're good enough, stop telling yourself that you're not ready, because the longer you wait, the further you move away from the life you want to create. The longer you stay stuck in thought, the further you move from action, and action is the only thing that creates change. I'm not saying you shouldn't think. I'm not saying you shouldn't plan. But what I'm telling you is that if you don't take action, all that thinking and planning is just wasted energy. Thoughts alone don't bring success. Action does. Let me repeat that. Action brings success. It's in the doing that you make things happen. It's in the doing that you transform your life, your career, your health, and your future. Think about the moments that have changed your life. When was the last time you made a major shift? When was the last time you broke free from the cycle of overthinking and actually did something that scared you, something that pushed you out of your comfort zone? I'll tell you, those moments didn't come from hours of thought. They came from action, from moving despite the fear, despite the doubt, despite the uncertainty. You had to step forward, unsure of the outcome, but trusting that something good would come from the effort. Now I know what you're thinking, but I'm afraid of failing. What if it doesn't work out? Here's the truth: failure is part of the process. You have to fail before you succeed. You have to stumble, you have to fall, but you also have to get back up. You can't be afraid of failure. You have to learn to embrace it. Every failure is just a lesson, a step closer to the person you need to become. The real failure is not trying at all. Let me tell you something else. If you're not failing, you're not growing. You're not stretching yourself. You're not testing your limits. And if you're not testing your limits, you're not living. You're just existing. Now, we've all heard people say, "I'll start tomorrow," or "I'm just not ready yet." We've all used those excuses ourselves. But here's the thing: tomorrow is never promised. Later never comes. And one day doesn't exist. There is only today. Right now, the moment you are in right now is the only time you have to take action. If you don't take that step now, then when? When are you going to finally say enough is enough and start doing something about the life you've been dreaming about? Look, I get it. You're scared. You're worried about making mistakes. You're afraid of what people will think. But the truth is, people are not thinking about you nearly as much as you think they are. They're too busy with their own lives, their own struggles, their own fears. So stop worrying about what others might say and start worrying about what you might say to yourself years from now when you look back and regret not taking that first step. Let me break it down for you. You've already got what it takes. You have the skills, the talent, the drive, and the power to succeed. The only thing you're missing is the will to act. Stop waiting for someone to give you permission. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. You're never going to get that moment if you keep sitting in your head. And I know that thought can be overwhelming because it feels like everything needs to be perfect. But you have to understand perfection is an illusion. Perfection doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is the moment you decide to take action. Now, I want you to hear this loud and clear. You are worthy. You are enough. You don't have to wait to become something more. You don't have to wait to gain more knowledge or learn more skills or be more experienced. You are enough right now to start. And the best way to prove that to yourself is to act. The longer you sit in that place of indecision, the further you get from your dreams. Time doesn't wait for anyone. It keeps moving forward with or without you. So if you want to achieve greatness, if you want to accomplish something extraordinary, then stop thinking about it and start doing. Stop doubting yourself and stop believing that you are capable of making it happen. It's going to be hard. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to challenge you in ways you never thought possible. But you were born for this. You were born to do something great. And the only way to step into your greatness is to act despite the fear, despite the doubts, despite the uncertainty. Remember this, you are in control of your destiny. No one else can determine your future but you. Your actions, not your thoughts, will shape your reality. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop thinking that tomorrow is the day you'll start. Today is the day. The time is now. The only thing that stands between you and your dreams is your willingness to take that first step. I don't care if you're scared. I don't care if you're unsure. The only thing that matters is that you start. And once you start, you'll find that the momentum builds. You'll find that your confidence grows. You'll find that the strength you've been looking for was already inside you, just waiting for you to act. So here's the question I want to leave you with. What are you going to do today to move toward stop thinking and start doing? Because the moment you take that first step is the moment you take control of your future. And there's no greater feeling than knowing that you're living your life on your own terms with no regrets and no what ifs. The time to act is now. Don't wait any longer. You've got this. We are often trapped by our thoughts, aren't we? We sit and think about what we want to do. We think about what we want to become. We think about the person we want to be, the success we want to achieve, the life we want to live. We envision it so clearly in our minds. We have the blueprint, the plan, and the vision. And we believe that the mere act of thinking about something, of imagining it vividly enough, is somehow enough to bring it into reality. But that's where we go wrong. Thinking alone doesn't make things happen. Thinking is important. It helps us to envision, it helps us plan, it helps us analyze, but it doesn't create results. Action creates results. The dream you have, the life you want to create, the success you long for, it's not going to come to life because you thought about it enough. It's going to come to life because you got up, stepped forward, and took action. And that's where many of us get stuck. We think, we plan, we talk about it, but we never do anything. We've all been there, haven't we? We've all sat at the dinner table or laid in bed at night, dreaming about the future, imagining how different our lives could be if only we took the leap. But the leap never comes. The vision remains a vision, and we remain in the same place. Why? Because thinking is not enough. You've been thinking about your goals for so long, and that's great, but nothing will change until you act, until you stop thinking and start doing. Let me ask you this. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start tomorrow, or I'll get to it soon? We all have that tendency, don't we? We push things off thinking that tomorrow is the magic day when everything will fall into place. But here's the truth. Tomorrow is never guaranteed. The perfect time to start does not exist. That moment when all the stars align, when everything seems right, that moment will never come. It's an illusion. The only time you have is now. You need to stop waiting for the right time because it's never coming. Stop looking for the moment when everything feels perfect. You'll never feel completely ready. If you keep waiting for the perfect moment to act, you'll be waiting forever. Perfection does not exist. The only thing that exists is the now. And the only thing you can control is your decision to act in the present moment. You've been thinking about it long enough. The time to do something is now. Let me be clear about something. There will never be a perfect time. There will never be a moment where you feel fully prepared, fully confident, or fully ready. The truth is that no one ever feels ready for the challenges they face. But the ones who succeed are the ones who take that first step. Even when they don't feel ready, the ones who succeed are the ones who act in spite of fear. The ones who succeed are the ones who stop waiting for the perfect moment and start creating that moment by taking action. Look, it's easy to get stuck in the comfort zone of thinking. We all know that feeling of being in a place where we don't have to take risks, where we don't have to confront our fears. It's comfortable to stay in the land of what if and maybe tomorrow. But nothing happens in the comfort zone. You will never grow, never evolve, and never achieve anything truly great if you don't push yourself beyond that comfort zone. Every time you tell yourself you're not ready or that you'll start tomorrow, you're telling yourself you're not capable of taking action now. But I'm here to tell you that you are capable. You don't have to wait until everything is perfect. You don't have to wait until you have it all figured out. You just need to start. You just need to take that first step. And that step will lead to another and then another. Before you know it, you'll have built momentum, you'll have made progress, you'll be further along than you ever thought possible. This is the power of action. Action doesn't require perfection. It doesn't require you to have it all figured out. Action simply requires a willingness to start, to step into the unknown, and to trust that you'll figure things out along the way. Action is the fuel that turns your dreams into reality. Without action, your dreams will stay nothing more than dreams. And let me tell you, there is nothing more frustrating than feeling like you have so much potential, but being stuck in a cycle of thinking without doing. You've got everything it takes to succeed, but you're too caught up in your thoughts to take the leap. It's like standing on the edge of a cliff, staring at the ocean below and knowing you have the ability to fly, but being too scared to jump. You know you have what it takes. You've imagined yourself soaring, feeling the wind beneath your wings, but you stay there, frozen in fear, paralyzed by the thought of falling. But here's the thing, nothing is guaranteed in life. Nothing is promised. The only way to truly live is to step out, to take risks, to leap into the unknown. You'll never know what's possible until you take that first leap. And yeah, you might fall, you might stumble, you might make mistakes, but that's all part of the journey. And every single failure, every single mistake will teach you something. It will help you grow. It will bring you one step closer to where you want to be. But you have to act. You have to take that first step. No one has ever achieved greatness by thinking about it. No one has ever changed the world by staying in their comfort zone, thinking about what could be. Change comes from action. Progress comes from action. Success comes from action. You may feel like you're not ready. You may feel like you don't have the right resources, the right skills, or the right knowledge. But let me tell you something, you have everything you need to start. The journey doesn't require you to be perfect from the start. It requires you to be willing to try, willing to learn, willing to fail, and most importantly, willing to keep going even when things get tough. I know it's hard. I know it's scary. I know that fear and doubt are constantly whispering in your ear, telling you that you're not good enough, that you're not capable, that you should wait. But you have to ignore those voices. You have to turn down the volume on fear and turn up the volume on courage. You have to believe in yourself, even when it feels like no one else does. You have to trust that even though you may not have all the answers, you are capable of figuring it out along the way. But you'll never figure it out if you don't start. You'll never grow if you don't take that first step. And let me tell you something, your dreams are worth it. Your goals are worth it. Your future is worth it. You have everything inside you to succeed, but you'll never realize that potential if you don't take action. The world needs what you have to offer. The world needs your gifts, your talents, your vision. But the world will never see them if you stay in your head, thinking about what you could do instead of doing it. You were born for greatness. You were born to make an impact. But the only way to make that impact is to stop thinking and start doing. It's time to stop waiting for the perfect moment. It's time to stop doubting yourself. It's time to stop overthinking and start acting. Because the moment you start, you'll realize that everything you need is already inside you. You just have to take that first step. The world is waiting for you. Your future is waiting for you. And it's all on the other side of action. So what are you waiting for? Get up, stop thinking, start doing. The time is now. The moment is now. You've got everything you need to succeed. You just have to take the first step. And once you do, you will be unstoppable.